Hi, I'm back again doing another video. Haven't done one for a while, but I thought I'd give it a go. On Saturday we were lucky enough to have the inimitable Charles Evans come to do a workshop for us, and this is the picture I made at that workshop. I'm not over happy with it. Charlie's was much better. There's bits I quite like, but what he was showing us is scraping out with a credit card, lifting out with a brush for the sky, stippling in foliage, and generally doing wet into wet washes, which is his speciality. So what I thought I'd try and do for anybody who is on my video list but didn't get to the workshop, I'm going to try and recreate what he did. In other words, do that but a lot better. Right, so without further ado, I'll shove this to one side. I won't need it again. I've got a piece of the Langford £140. I've got I'll swap over cameras. I've got my Charles Evans colours here. Mine are slightly different in that I use Cotman because they come in a bigger tube. Charlie always uses Aquafine, but they're basically the same paint by a different brand. These are Winsor & Newton. Charlie uses De La Rowney. So, colours, we've got ultramarine blue, that's cobalt blue, which we won't use, Hooker's green, Charles Evans sand, raw umber, burnt sienna, or is that light red? Light red, burnt sienna, yellow ochre, and alizarin crimson. We won't use all of them. I'll go back to my other view so you can see what I'm doing. Right, okay, I will get this out just to have a little look. We'll start with the hillside coming down. Another one. There's a big lumpy bit of a cliff coming down that way. Bit there. It's flat across the bottom. Where the lake is, there's roughy tufty bit there, some rocks here, and 4 trees. And basically that's the drawing done. There's a bit of a beach there, and that's it. So without further ado, I should get on. I'm using exactly the same brushes that Charles used, starting off with a 1.5 inch flat. These are Aquafine brushes. Use ultramarine blue. sorry, I've got that's better. That's got that the right way round now. Oh, forgot to pre-wet the sky. There's a little bit of blue in it, but it doesn't really matter because I'm going to be doing a blue sky anyway. Take it down to the top of the mountains. Okay, that's got that. Now, ultramarine blue. Nice and strong at the top. Because I pre-wet, as it comes down and I put less pressure on it, you get a graduated wash without even trying. Now what I'm doing now, while that's still soaking wet, I'm squeeze the brush out and I'm just going to lift out some clouds. All I'm doing is squeezing the brush. I'm not supposed to be making blobs. See, when Charlie does it, he don't make blobs. Now, well, I've got that into the ultramarine blue and put a tiny touch of light red, make a sort of purpley colour, and into the clouds while it's still wet just put in a little bit of shadow, soften the edges, and that, with a bit of luck, will give the clouds some belly. Okay, now clean up. Right, let that dry a bit. I'm making a bit of a pig's elbow of this, but we'll see how it works. I'm not over happy with the clouds, but the whole point is not to fiddle. So I'm not going to fiddle, I'm going to leave things lie. Two things with watercolour is the water and the colour. And you have to let them work together to do their own thing. So I have a hard edge when it dries, but I can always soften it with a clean damp brush. Now put the big brush to one side. I'm going to start doing the mountains. Okay, I'm using yellow ochre. I need a lot of water for this furthest one. Now yellow ochre is a very, very, very strong colour. So lots of water, because this is far away, this mountain. And I'll be using yellow ochre as the basis for all these hills, but as this one's furthest away, it will be the least intense, so it's got the most water. Now, into that, I'm going to mix some yellow ochre with some hooker's green. Not much hooker's green. Again, lots of water because it's a long way away. And I'm going to put that into so that it bleeds and blends. So there we've got that sort of looking like a rough mountain. I'm adding a little tiny bit of light red to it. Get some different colours on there. Now into that yellow ochre, hooker's green, I'm going to add some raw umber. Which will make a shadowy thing. Now the sun's coming this way, so just on this side there we have the distant hill. This one, still going to give it the yellow ochre to start with. This time I'm going to put a little bit of burnt sienna into it. I'm going straight through the trees. I'll paint, take them out if I need to, or just paint over this background colour. Just gonna use this while that's still damp, put a few little bits of light in it. Okay, now into that mix put some of the Hooker's green, and then we'll start laying that into there. The whole point of this is to let the paint mix itself. Tidy up that line at the bottom. Some people say watercolour is a very unforgiving medium, that once you've made a mark it has to stay forever. That's just not true. You can lift out anything you put in, and as long as the paint's still damp you can play around with it to your heart's content. I just want to make sure that's absolutely flat, because in my other one it isn't. Right, okay, into my that colour I'm going to add a touch more of the burnt sienna, but into the burnt sienna I'm going to put some burnt umber. No, it's raw sienna, not burnt sienna. Touch more of the green. I've got the same colour as that but darker or more intense. Now all this is just the same yellow ochre, touch of hooker's green, and I'm just blobbing this in. That's a technical term, blobbing. Highlight. Right. Let that sort itself out. Okay, now we've got that much, we've got that much. Just coming forward. Waiting for it to dry. It shouldn't take long because I've got quite strong lights. I don't know if you can see on the video, but those cloud bellies have dried out quite a lot softer than they were them in, and we've still got this darker blue sky and a softer thing at the beginning, at the bottom. Okay, now I was saying before about watercolour not being permanent. So what I'm going to do, where I put these trees in, I'm just going to lift the paint out. It's just gone completely, and all you do is use a clean damp brush. Don't use a dry brush, use a damp brush. When you clean in the kitchen, you don't use a dry cloth to soak things. You use a damp cloth. Don't know why it doesn't work with dry. I'm not a scientist. I'm an artist, sort of. Now I've got those trees back in. Just to show you how he is. Now while I've been faffing round, that should have been drying out a fair bit. The next bit is the loch, or the lake, you want to call it. Now, the way Charlie explained this makes a lot of sense. No, that seems to have spread a bit there, but don't worry about it. I'll be able to do it by putting it in. What we're going to do and then paint the reflections on top. I'm going to paint the reflections in first. So that is yellow ochre, touch of hooker's green, touch of burnt umber, raw umber. And all I'm going to do, I'm going to leave a tiny little gap at the edge, and then I'm just this down. Now this tray here is the one that I painted that one out of. A bit more umber, a bit more ochre, a bit more green. Again, I'm going straight through those. I've pulled them out once, I can pull them out again. Okay. And maybe I need to put a little bit more. So I've got a tinier. Line up there. Okay, so there we go, we've got those in. Now we're going to do magic. I want all that to be totally dry. So now we're going to put those rocks in the foreground. I forgot I need a bit of credit card. There you go, watching paint dry, that's what you're doing. Okay, now yellow ochre. Clean the brush. Umber. Nice and thick. And I'm going to mix a sort of black colour, ultramarine blue, and raw sienna, burnt sienna. What a mess. Okay, now card. Now that didn't work particularly well because it was too much water. So I'll try it again. On top of that, much less water. My black had far too much water in it. Okay, they look a bit more like rocks. See how easy it is just to make those rocky bits. Painting anything, you just scraping out the light bits and leaving the dark bits. That dry, more or less. I'm going to do next is a Loch. Okay, now I've got that. This is why I'll never be as good to keep on cleaning my palette. He hasn't cleaned his palette since 1976. Okay, now I'm going to clean the paint before I do anything else. There's my blue, tiny touch of light red, just to grey it down a little bit. Now, all I'm going to do, very gently, because I don't want to pick up any of the paint underneath, so I'm just going to paint in sky on there, the reflection of the sky. There we go. I'll take it further over. So there's a beachy bit there. Oh, I tell you what I haven't done. There's some trees over there. That's that black colour that I use for over there. They're a long way away, let them dry. Okay, while I'm waiting for all this lot to dry, I'm going to do this big cliffy bit. And again, start off with yellow ochre. I want it very thick. Got that. Back to the burnt umber. Raw umber. Why do I keep saying it's burnt umber when it isn't? And some of this black colour, which is the blue and the burnt sienna. Okay, now I'm going to use the whole edge of this card . Okay, we've got that. Now, again, yellow ochre, the yellow ochre, put some of the hooker's green, and some blue. It's nice dark green, and what I'm going to do on there is meet more blue. Let's put grassy bits on top of that cliff. Grassy bit at the bottom. Okay, there's that cliffy bit. Now with my number 8, you have to work quite quickly with this now. Yellow ochre, tiny touch of light red, now raw umber, I'm going to do this while that is still wet. Hopefully they will blend into each other. Now that really dark colour, is the ultramarine and the burnt sienna. Okay, now you should be able to see that they are starting to blend into each other. Just going to use the rigger and this really dark colour, make some more of it, ultramarine blue, burnt sienna, and all I'm going to do with this is put some twiddly bits of branches coming out. Okay, I've got that. Back to number 8 round, because I've just remembered I've got that little bit of a wood over there. Okay, now lots of yellow ochre. I'm doing the foliage up here now. Touch of the green. Now you use the side of the brush. clean the brush. Add some more of the green. What I'm doing now, bashing the brush so it's all broken at the end. Okay, got that. Nearly there now, aren't we? Now, all this bit here at the bottom is going to be fun. Still using this brush. Lots of yellow ochre. Into the yellow ochre, mix some green. Need that a lot thicker and darker, or some of it. Then some of the burnt sienna. Now this is the fun bit. Just get my fingers, and I'm not going to go, I'm going to go scrabble about all over it, which should make lots of nice different patterns. So better on the other one, but never mind. Okay, put some screwy bits. For the first time I'm using the alizarin crimson, which I'm putting some sort of like brambly stalks just to bring this forward. Right, all that's left is this beachy bit now. Clean out well. I'm going to mix some sand, and to mix sand I'm going to use sand. Into the sand, put a tiny touch of yellow ochre, lay it in while it's still wet, and also a tiny smidge of light red. I'm going to do there just to make it I'm going to pull out some ripples around the edge. And at the base, mainly because I forgot to do it before, I'm going to put some grass at the base there. The ubiquitous yellow ochre. Some of this greeny colour. I think that's more or less done. Took me quite a long time. I'll just take the tape off. You take tape off, always pull it away from the paper, from the painting. That way, if it does happen to pull off some of the paper, it won't pull your painting off with it. And there we go. With its nice white border. I'm not sure which is better. I think I'll put some more darks. I'm sorry, Charlie, I'm fiddling, but I'm not mad keen on my grass bit there. Just put some dark bits in there. And I'll use technique that he did show us, so I'll use it. Just using the side of the rigger. There, enough fiddled with. That one I'm quite pleased with the rocky bit. We'll let it dry, see how it comes out. Okay, hope you enjoyed that one. Thanks for watching. All I need to do now is write Charles Evans on the bottom. Just over an hour, and there we go, another video.